4 overs gone, 38 for 1. Change in com box. Suhas taking over from yours truly. Thank you.
Four overs gone, 38 for 1. Going just under 10 and over. 9.5 to be accurate. Sri Lanka in very, very comfortable position. Yes, they have lost their top man Chandimal. And Oman now will see some left arm spinning action coming in from the skipper Zishan Maqsood.
Back Chandimal. So the young Pathum Nisanka would be joined by LANKA. And LANKA has got going right away.
Well, he definitely has taken over from where Chandimal stopped. 15 of 14 for him. LANKA 5 of 3.
Second wicket.
A tiny little get a single there. 3 runs so far in this over and a wicket. If he bowls this one quiet delivery, Zishan, he would have done really well for his side.
Yes, 2 of the first ball and then a wicket. Now the single.
An absolute quality, top notch. Zishan Maqsood has been the centre stone for the Oman side.
Fernando ensuring that doesn't waste time. Starts to tick. 5 overs gone. A successful over for Zishan Maqsood and co. 41 for 2 Sri Lanka.
Five overs gone, 42 for 2. Just going at about 8.5 in that bout. He's done really well in this over, Zishan. He brings in Kalimullah now. It was Dinesh Chandimal who was the tormentor in chief when Kalimullah came in to bowl the first over. 11 runs of that over. He definitely would want to do a lot better than that from what he did in the previous over, Kalimullah. Oh, look at that! Whiffing past the bat. Kalimullah, that's the quality that he brings to table.
Yeah, there's always some extra bounce on offer when Kalimullah is operating. That was genuinely asking question to the outside edge. Usually you see him from the Al Amarat end, getting that extra little bit bounce to trouble the batsman. But sometimes when you carry that height, it doesn't really matter which end you bowl from. Quietly tucked away for a single. That's one way to approach this Kalimullah over.
And that's sensible enough. You don't need to go hammer and tongs. You need to understand what he's bowling. He's bowling quick, he's bowling short of length, and he's bowling from a towering height. He's almost as tall as one of these floodlight towers.
I was going to ask you if the side screen's enough, but you've compared him to the tower, so I'm absolutely mum.
So when the engineers came in to check the height of the towers, They measured his height and said, okay, maybe 1 inch more.
Kalimullah be quite happy bowling to this particular batsman as well, Fernando. A slower delivery, it's something that he's developed. Didn't see much of it in the 50-over format that he recently played. He was waiting for the right format to be unleashing those. As a bowler, the slower delivery becomes your better friend of picking up a wicket.
Absolutely, because then the difference is major. It's not just about 5 or 10 odd clicks. You're talking about 20 odd clicks. You're bowling at 145 and all of a sudden you bowl a 120. You're talking about a big difference. And 25 clicks, when a bowler is dispatching the ball off his hand, reaching within 22 yards to the batsman, makes a big difference.
Hint of movement as well. The batsman wants the run. It's one of the advantages of calling when you have played the shot, because you know exactly how hard you've hit it and how far. It's almost as if he calculated in his mind that this is the amount of time it will take for a fielder to swoop in and collect it in the first place. Let me go for a run.
Well, yes, whosoever thought that cricketers are just people who have played all their lives in the backyard, not focused on studies or education. Let me tell you, this is a classic example of a problematic physics solution. Every time you think how hard you've hit, will it reach the fielder? Should I be able to take that single? It's a problem that you're solving, and it's all physics.
Thank you, Professor. That's noted in the lab manual. That'll be wide. He's got a re-ball. Kalimullah, when he turned, was praying that the arms will not go wide, but it did. The arms did. They did.
Everything factoring in, speed, distance, time. Sometimes the elevation. If it's at a 45-degree, if you hit, the ball will go, the trajectory of the ball will be the maximum. All of this is physics. And the batters, they know it the best.
As far as Sri Lanka is concerned, you'd want good chemistry between these two in the middle. But that's very well played, well negotiated as far as the extra bounce is concerned, and well placed as well. And as far as Neil's concerned, he'll be quite happy that was threaded through the gap.
Well, there comes geometry. Bisecting the field, as they say. Everything you learned in school, applying here in the playground.
I'm searching for the geometry box now. Bring in the compass. Now, where did I keep my protractor? Because this is turning out to be... We're talking about schoolboy cricket a while ago. This is turning out to be a school class for me. It's great fun. Now, as we so often have, a cameo. Here is Mr. Sundaram.
My good friend Chandrasekhar, who must be watching this game in Bahrain, must be getting quite excited because he loves physics, chemistry, maths. And I'm sure he'll be having a good time listening to this conversation.
Oh, very good slower delivery. Watch out for that appeal. He's got to be very careful with that appeal. He cannot charge at the umpire like that. Zishan Maqsood would be throwing an arm around Kalimullah, that is if he can, and telling him, wait, don't do this, don't tread towards the umpire. That's as much as you follow through.
He's definitely going down. But that appeal was massive. End of the over, 48 for 2. .48 for 2 after 6. What an interesting over by Kalimullah. We'd love to watch that reaction. We'll come back to that. Zishan Maqsood, meanwhile, will continue from the far end. Picked up a wicket in the very first over that he bowled. Darting that ball in, the arm ball. We get a single to start with. Scott Jatinder in slips. Would want to angle that ball away from the batsman to inflict that little edge. Maybe not. He's sent Jatinder back.
He's more concerned about the late cut, isn't it? Is it going to be nice and flat? Yes, flat, quick, into the body. Batsman had enough room to operate on that occasion. Wanted to go leg side. An easy single collected.
These days we've seen spinners bowling the quicker ones and the seam bowlers, the fast bowlers, bowling the slower one. They're learning from each other and using others' ploys to distract the batsman and get some wickets.
I always used to wonder, whenever the pacer bowls the off cutter, is an off spinner smiling from inside. And then, of course, you have spinners who were pace bowlers erstwhile.
All along the carpet, we'll get a single. What they're doing is they're not taking any risks whatsoever while Zishan is bowling. They know that he is wily. He thinks every single delivery is planned. If he's bowling 3 on the trot in the same place, you know the 4th one is going to be the one that will change the game.
Yes, if he gets 3 dot balls, what he usually does is he is not scared of throwing it loopy because he knows the batsman will be coming after him now.
There you go, the flighted one. A dot ball. Spinners, mentally they are so strong that their ability to think the batsman out is phenomenal.
You got to be strong. This is soon turning into a batsman's game, isn't it? As a spinner, you got to have a very big heart. And the batsman's coming after you, you go slow over.
This time a fuller delivery, but gave it a little bit of air. So 7 overs gone, it's 52 for 2. All right, so it's going to be Ayan. Kalimullah has been pulled off again. He's using Kalimullah in a single over spell. Come in, bowl 1 over, get out. Come in, bowl 1 over, get out.
Yes, he's using Kalimullah in short bursts also to save him for the later stage as well. 2 matches, 1 wicket. Ayan Khan needs to be better than that and would want to believe this is the game with the ball in hand.
Well, yes, wasn't that great when he came to bat, but took that magnificent catch in the outfield. Dinesh Chandimal had hit a skyer that went many miles, and that's exactly where it all started.
That's very good thinking from Ayan Khan. Saw that the batsman was charging towards him. Kept it flat, kept it nice and quick. As a spinner, you're always taught to be watching the batsman till the last moment, isn't it, Neil?
Absolutely.
Jatinder Singh will cover ground quickly. They're going back for 2. 2 could be trouble had the throw been better. Ayan Khan had to do a bit to get to the ball.
But you know what is really good right now? They're dealing in singles.
Now they're converting it into 2s as well.
As far as boundaries are concerned, they've been dried up. Not giving those loose deliveries, come hit me kind of invitations. Up in the air, Jatinder Singh. Oh, we just spoke a little too early. A little too early. Call it the commentator's curse. That's the maximum.
The crowd erupts. They were waiting for a shot of this kind. Jatinder Singh really had no chance. The ball grew wings halfway. Had just enough elevation to send it for a maximum. Good shot in the end for Fernando. Will make him feel much better. This is the first boundary appointment that his bat has produced. How is Ayan going to react to this 6? But this is excellent cricketing brain of Fernando at work. He wants to, will get to. First get the maximum, then nurdle it around, pick up singles, convert them into twos, keep the fielders on their toes, keep them under pressure. This is some excellent cricket on offer.
And a big over. 11 runs already of this over.
Sports Eye match ball contest. Who has scored the maximum runs for Sri Lanka in ICC T20 World Cup? Subscribe to youtube.com/sportseye. Answer the question in the comment section box. And one lucky winner will win a signed match ball by the man of the match. Ayan Khan needs to curtail these deliveries. It was a good over initially. 10 at 6. The batsmen did not have to take risks then. Singles, twos were doing the job for them. Now an extra delivery. How much will it cost Oman?
Just a single. And that'll be the end of the 8th. 65 for 2. An expensive Ayan over comes to an end.
पॉइंट पे आजा कोई भी ले लो पॉइंट या कवर कोई भी ले लो चला जानो
8 overs, 65 for 2. Zishan will come in for his third on the trot. Just going at slightly above 8, and that's all that is required. They need 8 and over to win this game.
Attacking the first ball. Good work. Still he will get 2, and he's getting 2 for the shot. By the time the throw was dispatched, the second run was already completed 60%.
Well, as they say, you take 1 for the throw. That's exactly what they did. They spotted the tumble there, and that was their cue to run.
Very right, Neil. Sometimes you need to dispatch the ball quicker than you get to it, isn't it?
Oh.
That's a magnificent hit. Long on and long off will look at each other and play stone, paper, scissors to see who is going to get the ball.
And add insult to injury, it was no ball. That'll land them a free hit. Not good news coming in for Oman. Free hit and a no ball.
Oh.
7 runs added to the tally without a ball being counted. That's the kind of shot that'll make an arrow shy. Straight as it gets. Very demoralizing for Maqsood. But will he let it play on his mind? It's a free hit. And the free hit has been sent many a mile. Look for the dot called leather in this vast black sky.
This is as huge as it gets. If there was a way to measure this, it would require the biggest measuring tape to check where the ball dropped.
He's made it look so effortless as well. It was as if Fernando was ready to go. As soon as you told him it's going to be a free hit, the only way of getting you out, Fernando, would be a run out. He says, watch me go.
Zishan Maqsood now will have to wear the thinking cap, try and figure out what went wrong, what he has to do, because this is definitely not going his way. 2 sixes and 2 deliveries.
Fans are loving it. A moment ago there was silence, and then as soon as this over started, it's very difficult to find silence now. In any seat, everyone's shouting. The flags of Sri Lanka are waving as much as they can. And the reason is this. First that 6, and then even bigger.
Two back-to-back maximums. Zishan Maqsood. What looked like a great spell coming underway now has been tarnished.
Right, Zishan Maqsood being taken to the cleaners. He's already hit a big one and then a bigger. Again, a great cricketing mind at work. Pushing it in the gap, picking up a single, saying with a stamp of authority, I want to stay there longer.
Yes, coming straight out of the textbook. Hit a boundary, take a single, get off strike. Sri Lanka, with that 6, reached the halfway mark. Already on 81. Need another 79 runs to win this game.
And look how quickly they've got there despite losing 2 wickets. The brakes were never applied. They've targeted a particular bowler. Every time they've had a hiccup, that's 2 times to be precise, and then got out of the situation to carry the momentum in their pocket. This has been thoroughly professional from Sri Lanka.
2 more deliveries to go. He's drawing that ball, drawing the seam. Extremely important for the spinner to have a nice dry seam so he can grip the ball well.
Tap and run. This is seriously good cricket. It's as if dot ball doesn't exist in the dictionary of these two.
They've done really well. Both these Sri Lankan batters, Pathum and Fernando. In the gap, we'll get a single, and that will be the end of the over. An extremely expensive over. Current run rate of 9.4, required 6.9. 9 gone, 84 for 2. All right, so current run rate 9.33, required 6.91. Just before this over, the required run rate was hovering around 8. Look at that massive drop that's come in.
And the reason is 17 dot balls. They've been able to take those singles whenever it's possible, convert it into 2s as well. 5 times they've done that. 1, 3, 4 boundaries and as many 6s as well.
During the Oman innings, we saw that played as many as 35 dot balls. You play that, you're talking about 6 overs in dot deliveries. You put it in that perspective, it changes the thought. Kalimullah starts with a wide. He's having a bad day. He's having a bad day.
Kalimullah put his hand up and said, I'm sorry, right away. And that sorry was meant to go to Zishan Maqsood. He just found a way, that apology found a way to go to Maqsood.
Yeah, all the more reason. Your skipper was taken for runs. You need to come in, back him up, stay strong. Give him an over where you're not giving too many and probably picking up a wicket or 2.
In desperate need of a wicket here, Oman. Will Kalimullah be the man? Pathum Nissanka is looking stylish as this innings unfurls. He's gone back for 2. A little fumble, that's all it took. A diving effort would mean will complete 2 runs in the end. The throw had to be tamed by the keeper. It was very, very high for Naseem.
I reckon it would have been slightly close if it would have been a better throw.
Yes, Mr. Harish there, along with Mr. Kapil and Mr. Kiran. It's a very meticulous job indeed, scoring. And these 3 are pros at it. And very nice gentlemen too. Once the game ends, all smiles.
Kalimullah. Slower one on the pads. That should be given. That is given. A big wicket coming in. Kalimullah. He's got his man. He bowled the back of the hand delivery straight onto the pads of Pathum. There was no way the umpire was not going to give that. plum as it comes.
Big wicket. Pathum for a while was at the non-striker's end, then played a stylish stroke, but he's completely misread the slower delivery. Played down the wrong line, that would have gone on to crash into the stumps. Kalimullah as well pleading. Well, doesn't he look like a wrestler tapping out from the other side?
Pathum has to take that sluggish, slow, long walk back. 26 of 29, 3 fours and a strike rate of 89.66.
Sri Lanka wanted one of their openers to stay there till the end, drop anchor. They were looking at Pathum Nissanka to do that because Fernando was going good at the other end. Wasn't to be today. 87 for 3, Sri Lanka. Oman would want to believe that one brings two, and this is the time to pick up another. New man in would be Rajapaksa.
We spoke about Kalimullah and his abilities. Supporting the skipper. Bowling a tidy over, picking up a wicket or two. And if that comes true, he picks up one more. There might just be a little doorway that Oman would think that they've got through in this game. Because as of now, Sri Lanka is definitely steamrolling. He's a big man. To expect a back of the hand delivery with that accuracy is phenomenal. 9.2 overs, 87 for 3. Can Kalimullah get one more?
Tap and run's not an option when KP is inside the 30-yard circle. Kashyap Kumar Prajapati is one of the quickest that Oman have put on the field.
An addition of KP in the cricketing world of KPs. Got a bunch of them. Probably the only initials that are there in multiple numbers. Karan Pollard, Kevin Peterson, Krunal Pandya. 3 that I can think of.
And those are the 3 that only I could have thought of as well.
Oh, that would have hurt him nasty.
It's one of those very rare occasions where Kalimullah has picked up the ball and not given a stare.
He probably wants his ball to do the job of not just staring but scaring the batter away. 3 KPs that we've named, and the 4th one in the list, Kashyap Prajapati.
Nice slow delivery. He's using the slow delivery to excellent extent, also changing the length.
What he's done it by bowling this slightly short. He probably is expecting the batter to go slightly deep inside the crease to effect the LBW. At least the batter would not step out to him.
Yes, indeed, he is camping on the back foot. Good assessment, Neil.
Took that single though, got off strike. Otherwise would have been a great candidate for a planned wicket. But Fernando, who's been on the non-striker's end, has been observing what Kalimullah is doing. What do you want to change gears in this last delivery?
Kalimullah from the non-striker's end is a different bowler.
Having a quick chat with the skipper, discussing what that last delivery would be.
Still believe he's got the short delivery in his kitty for this particular over. But would he want to do that to Fernando now? Or will he go for the slower delivery to ask Fernando to go cross-batted? Fernando accepts the invitation to go cross-batted off that slower delivery. 10 overs gone. 89 for 3. 10 overs gone, 89 for 3.
Players are taking a drinks break. Neil has left us, and the score at 89 for 3 after 10. Sri Lanka scoring at a very healthy 8.9, and the only way probably Oman can make a match of it is to try and pick up some quick wickets.
Azizan Maqsood threw the ball to Kalimullah. Asked him to pick up a wicket, he obliged. But Sri Lanka, what they have been so good at doing is every time there has been a hiccup, they've found a way to fight back without wasting deliveries.
Exactly, and we did see the statistics in terms of the number of singles and doubles they have taken. And definitely that's one learning which probably Oman batsmen can also pick up. And make sure that they put the pressure on the fielders, and that's something that we didn't see when Oman was batting. The players and the batsmen are back after a short drinks break.
Yeah, and with those bottles of water, lots of messages were exchanged. You see the coach also ensuring that his orders reach the captain's ears. Avishka Fernando has played a very gritty 33 of just 17 balls.
The Oman cricket team, as we all know, is coached by none other than Dilip Mendis, who himself obviously comes from Sri Lanka and knows a bit of how Sri Lankan cricket is played. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind passing on some tips which will help the Oman bowlers to try and probably bowl a slightly better length.
And what could be that better length according to you, Sundaram? And Mohammad Nadeem, 39 years of age, has picked up a 4 for 1s, 4 for 23, his economy 6.9. It's decent.
It's important for the bowlers to try and mix it up. What we have seen is either short ball, which has gone for plenty, or enough width on offer. What we have not seen is the way the Sri Lankan bowlers bowled stump to stump, which is absolutely critical because it just makes that much more difficult for the batsman to free his arms and hit across the park.
An appeal, first ball and given. Nadeem answers the call. 27 wickets in 30 games for him now. This is why he's so effective.
This is exactly what we were saying, and that's exactly what Oman wanted so badly. On the stumps, trying to flick, missed it, adjust leg before.
So many times we've seen a little break play a part in the break of the concentration of the batsman. That's exactly what has happened here for Sri Lanka. He's missed a pretty straight ball, wanted to work it along the ground on the leg side. That would have crashed into the stumps. Up went the finger.
Would have missed the off stump, missed the leg stump, definitely not the middle stump. Lovely delivery and a great reward.
Wonderful innings of Fernando has come to an end. A hardcore hitter has found a way of getting out to a soft dismissal is what you want to call. Looking for a single when he was clearing the boundary at will and missing the ball while doing so.
I think probably also because he spent quite a bit of time in the non-striker end watching. So he almost rushed to about 30 odd in the first 16 deliveries, right?
And this is why Fernando is trudging back to the pavilion, missing a straight ball. This just went straight with the angle. And Nadeem knew that the batsman's a candidate for LBW as soon as he played down the wrong line. Played the wrong line, wanted to tuck it away on the leg side and pick up a single. That's what can be a worry sign. For someone who clears the boundary at will, why would you want to look for a lower denomination and get out like that?
Good for Oman. And a great opportunity for them to bounce back. And it's only the wickets which will really help them. Shanaka.
30-year-old captain is walked to the middle. 111 matches, 2,561 runs. Season campaigner. He's got 3 centuries. Brilliant. There's something on it. And Shanaka has to walk. Nadeem, you beauty. Oman were looking for magical spell, and that's come from Nadeem the Wizard with a ball in hand.
He is the one who is bringing all the magic and all the experience that Oman so badly needed. 2 wickets in this over. And is Oman going to spring a surprise on Sri Lanka?
It's the length which has caused the batsman's demise. The feet went nowhere. Offered the bat to it. It took the outside edge and a simple catch for Naseem. This Nadeem-Naseem combination has produced the wicket. Dasun Shanaka, the captain, walks back without troubling the scorers.
How an over can completely change the complexion of the game. Just before the drinks break, Sri Lanka was sitting pretty. 2 wickets in this over. And here is a time for Oman to strike few more blows.
That's T20 cricket for you. You blink and the game changes. 2 wickets in quick succession. Sri Lanka lose half their side and skipper being the last man dismissed. This was the first wicket. Playing down the wrong line. A judged LBW. A set for Nando. Then the new man in was Captain Shanaka. The outside edge was something that Captain Shanaka was yet to befriend. Very good catch by Naseem. Well, it's a matter of that alphabet, isn't it?
Clearly playing away from the body and getting a fine edge.
What that has done is allowed Zishan Maqsood to be more attacking. A slip is in place. There is a buzz around the batsman.
This is not going to be as easy as Sri Lanka probably thought just about an over back.
Sri Lanka in this game with the bat in hand were tested with 1 wicket falling. And these are the men who work extremely hard so that we can get a brilliant game of cricket underway. There's Masood Bhai at the end of it, the leftmost on the screen. And there's Noor as well, who's like a doppelganger. You can never make out who's Masood, who's Noor, especially with the masks on. But those men have done an excellent job of providing wickets which play true to themselves. Only one of the batsmen wants a single. And in this game of cricket, both of them have to run to complete a single. It's just the rule.
Clearly we can see there's a lot more intensity and purpose. And the Oman fielders are charging in. Obviously, they are able to sniff. Chamika Pereira, 26 matches, 235 runs with a strike rate of 115. How much does Sri Lanka need him after his bowling stint? He does need to come up with few lusty blows to try and take Sri Lanka closer to the victory target.
What the initial batsmen have done is to ensure that they stay ahead of the required rate. It's still 7. 7 still some good batting. Requires some good batting. That's a good end to the over. Nadeem take a bow. 2 wickets and absolutely nothing given away. A wicket made in for Nadeem to start this match for him with the ball in hand. 11 gone, 89 for 5 Sri Lanka. This was the first wicket for Nadeem. That's been playing down the wrong line. And then Captain Shanaka, big wicket. Under circumstances, Shanaka had to hang around, but he only hung his bat.
Extremely well bowled. The first wicket, committed on the front foot. The bowler clearly observed it, bowled on the stumps, missed leg before. Second one, playing away from the body. Gentle swing, edged, caught behind. Wonderful bowling.
It's also one of those lines which troubles the batsman only initially in his innings, when he's in two minds whether to play the stroke or not. Not when the batsman's settled. Your thoughts?
He was neither forward nor backward and definitely playing away from the body. So you could clearly see a lot of gap between the bat and pad. So look at where he was standing, pretty much on the leg stump and trying to play a shot. It is always difficult for you to time it. So
not just the line, the length as well has worked in his favour for Nadeem. Oman fans have found a new voice. And the decibel levels are going through the roofs. This is when you juxtapose it with the usual loud drums of Sri Lanka. The ground is buzzing. It's an eccentric atmosphere. That dive will not stop. That single, two is on offer, is it? No. Two would have been very risky. And that's why Karunaratne and Rajapaksa have decided against it.
very wise decision. Definitely that would have been catastrophic for Sri Lanka. Good that they refused the second one.
Chamika is someone who's got the ability with the bat in hand. He's a very handy all-rounder. He's someone who's got excellent game awareness, and this is something Muthaiya Muralidharan enjoyed when he went to watch Chamika play in a school game. So he's got, growing up, he's got a great game awareness, and he'll have to utilize that today. The flags of Oman higher at the moment. The chants of Oman louder at the moment. More bounce. Chamika's a little itchy to get off the mark. And why not?
And
He's been
suddenly
asked to negotiate. He's been asked to negotiate Fayaz Butt's express pace.
And suddenly you see the run rate go up. It's 70 or 52. And what looked like a fairly reasonable run rate a couple of overs back. The odds have changed.
And that's beautifully driven. Good effort from Sandeep Gaur, but 2 runs are written over it. Chamika and Bhanuka.
This match coming to you live on Sony 10 in India, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. 10 Sports in Pakistan. Free Sports if you're watching in UK. Cricket Live in UAE. Our streaming partners, youtube.com/sportseye, Sony Live and Swiss TV. Live from Oman Cricket Academy at Al Amirat.
What a beautiful setting to play cricket in. Is it going to be the slower delivery? It was a cross-seam delivery while he ran in. But he's double bluffed the batsman and the commentator.
Oman was quite happy with just giving away singles, right?
Well, I really believe for at least an over or two, Sri Lanka wouldn't mind picking up singles. So it's that phase of the game where the answer to your question depends on which side you look at first. Because Bhanuka and Rajapaksa both would want to get themselves in and not waste deliveries, that is no dot balls. And the best alternative to not have dot balls and have low risk shots would be a single.
Extremely well explained.
Wide ball signaled. First the wide was signaled by the non-striker, then it permitted to the umpire.
It's very important for Oman to try.
Sports Eye match ball contest. Who has scored maximum runs for Sri Lanka in ICC T20 World Cup? Subscribe to youtube.com/sportseye and answer the question in the comment box. One lucky winner, which might be you, can win the signed match ball by the man of the match.
Slashed hard just for a single. The point was what Sri Lanka wouldn't want is to lose another wicket here. So absolutely, it makes sense for them to keep rotating the strike and pick up the singles. And they are still pretty much very close to the required run rate of 8. So that should not be an issue. What probably is a worry is that they don't want to lose another wicket.
Yes, the momentum at the moment is with Oman, and to only be able to pilfer that momentum towards your side in the Sri Lankan camp, Sri Lanka would be looking to play a quiet over. Nurdle the ball around, milk the bowling. 1 over, 2 overs, because the required rate is not very high. If you have wickets in hand towards the end, you can get there. Courtesy, batsmen like Chandimal starting off that well. Then Fernando throwing his bat around, getting quick runs. Required rate is about 8 at the moment. 7.96 to be very precise. Here's Fayaz. Stylishly played away, work to do. Kashyap Kumar Prajapati gets around it. But the bad throw will allow 3 runs. Fayaz Bhatt is definitely not happy. Moment ago, it was 2 runs with a good slide by Kashyap Kumar Prajapati. But a poor throw meant 3 would be completed with these. The crowd's back on its feet. Sri Lanka, no. The trumpets are around as well. And the trumpets will get louder as 2 runs have been converted into 3 due to a lapse in concentration from Prajapati.
"12 gone, 98 for 5. A quick look at the scorecard. Dinesh Chandimal scored 18 of 8. Nisanka 26 of 29. Asalanka 5 of 4. Avishka Fernando a brilliant 33 of 18. Shanaka didn't trouble the scorers. Rajapaksha not out 3 and giving him company. Karunaratne 6 of 7. 98 for 5 after 12.
As far as the bowling card is concerned, Kalimullah has bowled 3 and picked up an important wicket. Bilal Khan's waiting for the second spell. Ahmed Fayaz has bowled 2 overs, picked up 1. Zishan Maqsood in his 3 picked up a wicket as well. Ayaan Khan was given just 1 over and was expensive and taken away. Mohammad Nadeem has been the star so far. Here he is in his 2nd over and he's already picked up 2 important wickets in the single over that he's bowled before this.
Clearly has continued to build the pressure. And if he's able to pick up a wicket here, Oman can clearly sense a victory. Zishan has just 1 over to bowl, so obviously highly unlikely he will come back before the 15th over. Whom do they turn to if they want to go with spinners? Because obviously they do want the batsman to go for shots at some stage.
Now that Sri Lanka has lost 2 in quick succession, that's a very good Yorker. And that run wasn't unchallenged. Had that been a direct hit, the story could have been different. Sandeep Gaud with the throw knows that. He didn't have much time, but he had 3 sticks to aim at. With that angle, you expect to hit the stumps more often than not. Yes, the ball would have won the race had it kissed the stumps even.
It was curtains. What a mess. What a glorious opportunity for Oman to have probably put more pressure on the Sri Lankan batsman.
Sri Lanka will need to look at this equation 61 or 46 and tell themselves, target 1 ball every over to go for the big shots. Look for the singles and 2s more often, which are less risky. Not a single of that kind. Panuka and Chamika. Can they provide the partnership which can bail Sri Lanka out of this little situation of sorts? Or will Nadeem look for the block hole again? Tap and run. This is good cricket. This is just what the coach was expecting from Sri Lanka. Keep the scoreboard ticking. Don't let Nadeem bowl to the same batsman.
That run was stolen right under the nose. So great call. Picked up a single again. And this is one area probably the fielders need to tighten up a little bit more. But again, I wouldn't mind a single at all at this stage. And we would like to see if the gap between the number of runs to be scored and the balls available increases. Right now it's about 15. If that can be taken to about 20-25, this game would be very nicely poised.
100 comes up for Sri Lanka with that stolen single. Oh, that's a glorious hit. Everybody give your work a lick and a promise, and look at the batting of this batsman. That's a shot which just tells you so many things are going right in life for Chamika. Middling the ball, holding the post, and it might be Nadeem who's picked up 2 wickets, but if it's in the slot, doesn't really matter who the bowler is, it's the ball that matters.
Just when we were talking just before about singles, suddenly comes a 6. Absolutely straight. Obviously you won't find a fielder there. Right over the bowler's head for a glorious 6.
Chamika Karunaratne. He's coming from a multi-sport background. We were discussing his exploits with a badminton racket in hand. Was a javelin thrower initially, but with a bat in hand too. In cricket, he's proving a point. All-round performance. 13 of 10. He's still got some way to go. Sri Lanka need 54 of 44. But this little phase is all about that seesaw. Change in field made. Bilal Khan, who was lurking at fine leg, has been asked to provide his services as a short fine leg fielder now. And a deep backward square as well. Who's moved a little finer. Single take, and no misfield will allow 2. Misfield is something that Oman cannot afford. Nadeem's furious. If you're Ayaan Khan, you don't want to be looking at Nadeem at the moment. That was supposed to be a single, and single only. Jatinder Singh said, Ayaan, it's yours to be taken. But little lapse in concentration meant 2 runs taken by Sri Lanka. 2 valuable runs. Just when Sundaram was explaining the importance of expanding that gap for Oman, the gap between the runs and the balls, the gap shrinking. First the 6, now proactive running.
Clearly the fault lies in the way the fielding is being done. Obviously they have had quite a few misfields, and that obviously has allowed Chamika to come back for 2.
Good comeback delivery by Nadeem. Still, Sri Lanka would believe they've got more than enough in this over. 108 for 5. Momentum back with Sri Lanka.
The only way Oman can get back is to pick up another wicket and make sure that the fielding is tighter, because there has been some easy singles.
This is what you want to see in cricket as well. Young fans carrying flags bigger than them because they know it means more to them. Turning up to watch a cricket match. Now she's crying. She's crying probably because she's got a smaller flag, but it means the same. What matters is your support.
It's absolute delight to see that young kids are coming here to watch the game, because some of them could be the next in line to play for the country.
Absolutely. When you watch the stars at an impressionable age, you tell yourselves, I want to be inside the field doing what they do. Fayaz Butt is a hero for Oman cricketers. What a hit! The ball plonks itself after landing, and Zishan Maqsood believed that he can ensure it's not a boundary, and he does. The dive as well coming towards the end. But by the time the throw was dispatched and it reached Fayaz, the batsman had made the ground.
If only the throw was right above the stumps, because there was definitely an opportunity. A great fielding effort.
Moment the ball went in air, Zishan Maqsood never took his eyes off it. In the outfield, it's not the fastest over here. The ball plonks itself, and Jatinder knew that he had to stay back, wait for the ball to arrive from Zishan Maqsood, and then dispatch the throw.
A flat throw just on top of the stumps probably could have put a lot more pressure. For Oman, I think Chamika is back on strike, and that's something they could have probably avoided. The score is on Nelson, 111, 111 for 5. Can this be a good news for Oman to pick up a wicket now?
Are you going to hop in the commentary box? Short ball, well controlled, hit in the gap as well. The calls for 2, and 2 it shall be.
Plenty of space in the mid-wicket region, and by the time Jatinder could cover and throw it back, an easy 2. Yeah, I think the time for hop, skip and jump is pretty much over. I rather stand and deliver, so to speak.
Love your choice of words. Because the moment, this is where everyone listening, in the moment Sundaram said he's going to stand and deliver, he stood up.
I think definitely Oman has tried to make a match of this, and
the gap is closing down. It's just 7 now. But it's a well-directed bouncer. It's 1 for the over, but one that Fayaz would have relished bowling. Good work by Chamika to get duck and sway away from it in the end. Wanted to offer a shot initially, but it grew quickly on him.
And I can tell you, if that had taken an edge, definitely it would have gone above the wicket-keeper's head.
With the sheer pace, is it, sir?
Absolutely, it bowled at a very, very good pace.
Fayaz is one of the quickest in Oman. Missed out in CWC, but come T20, he's back in the side and proving a point. This is a good sign for Karunaratne and Sri Lanka. The batsman in control while he plays the pull shot. He'll have a little bit of time to breathe at the non-striker's end as well.
Probably will be the Omani fielders and the bowler must be happier that Chamika is on the non-striker end, because he's showing all intention to go the full hog. And Bhanuka has been a lot more subdued, scoring just a run a ball.
Fayaz Butt with his long run up outside the 30-yard circle, it starts. Work to do for the tall Kalimullah, putting in his long strides, but will not be able to stop the batsman from picking up 2. At the moment, these 2 batsmen, Rajapaksa and Karunaratne, are seeing only gaps, and those gaps are yielding 2 more often than not a single but 2.
Because the field is completely spread, and obviously they are trying to see how they can save the boundary, unless it is a lofted shot for a 6.
But I'll tell you what, 44 or 37 now the equation. It's also a question of whether you can make a dot ball happen as well.
And because the fielders are all either on the 30-yard or covering the boundary line, There's plenty of single on offer. All the fielders are on the 30-yard or on the boundary line. And just gently nudges it to the short third man and picks up another single. End of over number 14, 117 for 5. We can still hear the drums play. The crowds have really turned on large numbers and massive support.
Yes, the captain of the ship outside the cricket field for Oman. The birthday boy, Mr. Pankaj Khimji, a visionary.
Clearly having a bird's eye view, looking around just to make sure that all the arrangements are going as per plan. And it has been a magnificent effort on his part and the entire team to bring the stadium to where it is today, because we have been really witness to what this was about 30 days back, and there has been some remarkable infrastructure development over the last 30 days, and watching the game here and covering this has been an absolute delight.
Yes, you came here before the transition happened, and I was here throughout the transition, covering the Cricket World Cup League 2. And then, of course, now what was a village ground, according to Mr. Khimji himself, one of the most professional village grounds, he says, has now become a full-fledged stadium and is ready to host the mega event, the T20 World Cup. Bilal Khan was looking for the block hole.
Yes, we did cover the matches that Oman played against Mumbai, and all this was just planned. And coming back to this ground after 30 days, obviously this is a great sight.
Chamika Karunaratne understands the onus is on him. Bhanuka is quite happy playing the second fiddle to Chamika's innings here. He's quite happy playing the second fiddle to Chamika.
Clearly the required run rate is pretty much under control at 7.2.
The appeal was more out of excitement. It lacked belief. Karunaratne initially thought even 2 could be taken. Bilal Khan exchanging smiles. This game is being played with a sense of camaraderie as well. Giving it all. And then once he pulls out of that appeal, the friendliness quotient of the game increases a little.
Extremely ambitious appeal, and probably that was more to put pressure on the batsman not to run.
"41 of 34 with 5 wickets in hand. Sri Lanka will believe it's in their control. Bilal Khan searching for the block hole. That's a magical hit and will go the distance. It sent the crowd scattering and scampering. No ball signaled as well. Bilal Khan hasn't handled the pressure well today.
No ball for height. High and handsome. Just below where we are sitting. What a wonderful 6. This has been a magnificent 6. Clearly not missing out on an opportunity. A much needed 6 to bring the run rate down, to run a ball now.
Run a ball with 5 wickets in hand. There it is once again, Oman faltering. by not handling the nerves. 7 runs and the ball will not be added to the tally. Bilal Khan, who's looking to attack, is now looking to do damage control. Was looking for that perfect Yorker, wasn't he? The Yorker King, they call him.
He is the highest wicket taker, and it's important for him to now come to the party.
The crowd's absolutely erupting. That Yorker was there, but the batsman found a way to dig it out, negotiate well. Initially thought of 2 as well. Shamika said nothing doing.
Run rate pretty much under control, so there's absolutely no need. It's 33 of 33.
It's been a very interesting approach for Sri Lanka. They haven't looked to take it deep either. They just got the poor balls and they put that away.
Plus a couple of misfields that also helped. So they got a great start, and that probably allowed them to stay ahead of the run rate. And even though there was a minor hiccup, but I think they have been playing this sensibly so far. Both the batsmen on 18 each. That looked close. There was a great ball. Yorker length looked pretty close.
Change in pace as well. There was well guided. A bit of bat would have saved him.
Absolutely. If there was no edge, he was gone.
Bhanuka and Shamika 18 apiece. Shamika taking a little longer to get there compared to Bhanuka. But Shamika playing exactly the innings that this has been excellent from Sri Lanka.